Welcome to the Saints That Serve podcast,
where each week your hosts dive into the crossroads of faith,
culture,
and the unknown. Christ is Lord,
and the kingdom is now. We are the Saints That Serve. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 29 of the Saints That Serve podcast.
That's the Saints That Serve podcast.
I'm your host, Jarus.
And I'm your backup host, Jonny.
Backup host?
No, I don't. Co-host.
I am lesser than the main host, even though we're co-hosts, Jonny.
I am the least of these.
You are not least. You are equal to me, my friend.
Let me be least.
Why do you want to be least?
Because, the Bible says for the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So.
Oh, gotcha. You want to be first.
Ultimately, in the grand scheme.
Why didn't you introduce the podcast then, bro?
I'll be last now so that I can be first later.
Is that like a Christian candy we can come up with? Instead of now and laters, it's first then lasts?
The first then lasts, yeah. Oh, man. All right. Well, we don't got a whole lot of announcements besides what we've been ramping up for the past couple of weeks. We've got a live worship night online
in 4 days from the launch of this episode.
That's
April 4th.
April 4th, baby.
So for that, it'll be on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube live stream.
Yep.
The stream itself will start at 6:30, though the worship night won't start till 7. So if you come at 6:30, there will be a countdown timer leading up to 7 o'clock. We will be in the chat talking with y'all.
Yep.
And then at 7 o'clock, we're just going to have a good old worship night.
Good old worship night. So, we'll be posting links for that on all the social media. So make sure that you are following us on Instagram or Facebook or Threads at the Saints That Serve Pod, or on X at STS Ministries. And if you have prayer for anything, you can reach out to us on any of those platforms. You can also email us at saintsthatserve@gmail.com, or you can message us. There's a direct SMS messaging link at the bottom of the show notes for this episode.
Also, last week's episode 28, the Pokemon episode.
Yep.
If you want to, you can head over to YouTube. And on YouTube, we have visuals for that episode.
Yeah, first time doing something like that.
And going forward, if there's any visuals mentioned, they will be on the YouTube version of the episode.
Yeah, we're just trying to make things more entertaining for you guys by including you more in the conversation.
Right. And we're also trying to head towards a more, like you said, interactive podcast, but also, heading towards eventually being video.
Yep. Yeah. So I just want to shout it out one more time. Make sure you're following us on social, because we do post updates when we're dropping things. And we're going to be, and pretty soon, the next couple of months, we're going to be doing live streaming video games.
That's right. The Saints That Play.
Yeah. So make sure that you are following us so that you can be up to date on what that looks like, what we'll be doing for that. You can actually go to Instagram and follow the Saints That Play.
We're also on Facebook.
And on Facebook.
And if you want to, head to YouTube, subscribe to that. And if you're on Twitch, the Saints That Play.
So there you go. Do all those things, because we want to know you and we want you to know us better. And you can do that through social media.
So, yeah, there we go.
There we go. There was one comment last week, and it was on Threads, actually.
Really?
About the Pokemon episode. Mm-hmm. And it was, I'm not going to get her name very good, but it was, Pokemon Horizons Girl 35.
Wow.
And so we were posing the question, can Pokemon and Christians, can you do Pokemon as a Christian? And she said, there is self-sacrifice and forgiveness. So yeah, it has Christian values. So thanks for the comment, Pokemon Horizons Girl.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. Hope you listened to the episode and you enjoyed it, and hope you came back for this episode. And then we've got a comment from Ashley on YouTube, and it says, I laughed a little at Jarus's pronunciation of El Pollo Loco. My mom used to call it Polo Loco as well. My most confident word after 3 years in Spanish classes in high school is undoubtedly pollo.
It's not polo?
It's not polo.
So chicken in Spanish is not a shirt that you wear?
No, and Ashley even explains it, because I remember learning that the double L can be pronounced as a Y in English. Anyway, fun stuff. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
Both enjoyable and educational on that comment. That's all I've got for announcements.
I want to have a quick little apology. Apologize. It's like an apology, kind of a correction. In last week's episode, I said that the man who was modeled after Kadabra was a Japanese man.
Yeah.
He is not a Japanese man.
Oh.
I don't know what nationality he is, but I know for a fact now he is not a Japanese man. So I apologize for that.
Okay. There you go.
Do you have any other apologies you want to make?
I apologize for any lulls that I have anytime I say or yeah. And you know what? I apologize for that one person in your life who has not apologized to you yet.
I apologize for him.
Or her.
Yeah.
We apologize for them.
So to make it real, why don't you give us a quick example? Like right now, I am somebody who needs to be apologized to.
Okay. Listen, I know when we were kids and we were all just playing around on the playground and I was just trying to be cool for everybody, but that's neither here nor there. It's just an excuse. I need to apologize to you. Stealing your ice cream cone 3 licks in was unacceptable. I'm sorry for stealing your ice cream cone. And I hope you can find it in your heart 20 years removed to forgive me. And I just want to let you know that even though I did thoroughly enjoy that Rocky Road ice cream, my life's been a rocky road since then.
I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
What do you got? What do you got right there in your hand? Is that an ice cream cone you got right there?
No, it's a knife. Too little, too late, buddy. Jeez.
All right. Well, there you go. Apology accepted, right?
Is that? Oh, that could be a segment. Just every week we apologize for something. Just make up an apology for somebody who needs to hear it.
The apology.
Me and John have been debating like new little mini segments to put in the podcast.
So we might get a little experimental for you guys.
Yeah, I think apology, what we call it? Apology accepted? Or let me apologize.
Let me apologize. Okay.
There we go. Actually, what I was actually trying to bring up, though, seriously, was talking about your apology for how you pronounced that Lord of the Rings character in that one.
Dude, I'm so sorry, everybody. I cannot genuinely say sorry enough. It is not Aragorn. It's Aragorn.
And you said Aragorn many a time in that episode.
Multiple times, and I am so mad that happened. I want to delete that episode just because of that one mistake.
It's so funny because we're so removed from it that I don't even remember what episode that was in now. But John is very sorry, and
because I've never even done anything. I've never gotten into the Aragorn books.
Mm-hmm.
Like we watched the movie when it came out,
which I understand is terrible, right?
It's not good at all. And I didn't even read the books, so I can't even be like, oh, the books were way better.
That was one of those franchises I never got into watching, reading, or enjoying.
My wife read them, and she thoroughly enjoyed them. And my brother did, too. He read them and liked them. But, yeah.
That is a good possible future podcast episode. The movies that were so bad that it put the books to shame.
Oh, yeah.
Like it ruined the franchise.
Definitely a lot of content there.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there because, Tyler, this is your transition.
Yep. Here we go, Tyler. Are you ready?
We are now moving into the main topic of the episode,
which we are going to be talking about Angel Studios.
Angel Studios.
Yeah. So I've got some info on it. For those who don't know, it is I guess you could say, more family/religious oriented streaming service and production studio. They are producing their own content. They originally started out as a streaming service that would edit releases. So movies and TV shows, you could filter out.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was called Angel Vid. And they would...
I'm going to correct you. It's VidAngel.
VidAngel. Thank you. Sorry. It was VidAngel, and you could put filters on, if you wanted to watch Game of Thrones, but you didn't want to see any of the nonsense.
All the bad stuff.
All the bad stuff.
So essentially, they would just... It's so cool of a technology when you think about it. Because it's like, okay, I don't want to see this, or this. And it'd just be check boxes.
Yep.
And it would just completely take that nonsense out. It wouldn't censor it. It would just remove it. Because... Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Side tangent. A lot of shows that have that content in it, the inappropriate content, is completely unnecessary and not important to the plot of the story at all.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So anyways, that's how they got started, and they eventually became their own studio, putting out their own content, which they started the studio in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But originally, VidAngel came out in 2013.
Which is crazy to think, because for only 4 years of content, they have some fantastic content.
Oh, yeah.
And just in a short amount of time, like rivaling major streaming platforms.
Yeah.
On content that us as Christians should be watching.
Yeah.
It's really great.
I agree.
I have like an opening statement paragraph that I wrote. Can I read that?
Yep.
Okay. So Angel Studios has made a name for itself as a trailblazer in faith-based and family-friendly media. Through innovative crowdfunding campaigns and a passionate community, the studio has brought forth powerful stories to life that resonate with viewers around the world. From compelling biblical dramas to clean comedy and imaginative animated series, Angel Studios is dedicated to creating content that inspires, uplifts, and entertains, all to the glory of God.
Yes. So just for the controversy side of it, the founders, the Hammond brothers, it's Neil, Daniel, Jeffrey, and Jordan, they are all a part of the Latter-day Saints church, the Mormon church.
Okay.
So they are Mormon, but they're not like, it's a Mormon streaming service. Like, they accept the Christian content that's being released. And it's not necessarily like you have to uphold the Mormon agenda in these things. They're not making people do that, but they are a part of they are LDSers. So I know people are going to get upset about that or say something about that, can make a comment about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the founders of the actual software streaming service are Mormon, but not all the content on the service is Mormon. It just holds the line for conservative Christian values.
Okay. So I need to cross out my line for the glory of God here at the end then.
Well, no, because some of it is
I'm
like
kidding,
the Chosen show.
Mm.
It's not produced by Mormons, but it is
really at this point, Angel Studios really doesn't personally make the content.
Yeah.
People are making these content. They fund it the same way that you have Netflix original shows.
Yeah.
Netflix is not personally making it, but they are funding it.
Yeah.
And they're all biblical based or biblically inspired content.
So really, all streaming services for the past couple of years have leaned so far to the more liberal, secular, sexual side of content creation that it has inadvertently opened the door for new things to come out that are making conservative stuff that ends up doing very well because that's what people want.
Right.
They're so tired of only having this one thing that Hollywood dictates you get. and it's paved the door for Angel Studios and even Daily Wire. They have their own streaming service too.
Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of famous big Hollywood names like Matthew McConaughey and some others are also going to attempt to make something similar to Angel Studios.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I literally was about to say his name and I'm blanking on it.
Is it the guy who made that movie Horizons? Probably not.
No, Freedom, Braveheart guy.
Oh,
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Golly.
So the guy I'm thinking of, he made Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
I believe he made Horizons, and that's where I got mistake.
Yeah. Kevin Costner made Horizons, but no, yeah. Mel Gibson came out and said that they're looking to start their own studio.
Yeah.
That's more
than likely.
Conservative.
Here's put me on the books now. Quote me on this. My guess is that they'll make content.
Yeah.
But they won't make a streaming service, and their content will go on VidAngel. Not VidAngel, Angel Studios.
I mean, it'll probably go whoever will buy. They'll probably put it out wherever, but it will be. They won't toe the Hollywood line. That's the whole point.
Yeah, a lot of people need to get away from that Hollywood line.
Yeah, it's become pretty ridiculous. Anyways, so there you go. There's some background for it. There's our intro for it.
So I'll be honest. I didn't know Mormons. Didn't know that.
Yeah, and you don't know until you dig into the weeds. I knew that it was going to be coming up because I know some people that are like, they have to be exactly what I believe 100% for it to be the truth. If they waver in one theological point, then it's from hell. I know some people like that. So
yeah,
I do agree that the Mormon church is false, is not Christian, and anyone who's been deceived by the Mormon church, I'm praying for you.
And if you want to know the truth, reach out.
Yeah, if you want to know the truth of the gospel, then reach out. But this is the Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Muslims, Christians, Jews, all of us, we share the idea of being conservative and having morals, like not being, just those morals of, I hate to say it, but the morals of just being a family, having families and trying to raise your children in a healthy and respectful way. There's a lot of people in that camp, and, we're a Christian and we believe that the only way to salvation is through Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people who hold a lot of similar values that we do who would enjoy the content.
Mm-hmm. Who don't believe the biblical truths.
Yeah, they don't believe the biblical truths, but
we can agree on
some moral, social issues, culture issues. So, So anyways, that's Angel Studios. Not everything is Mormon on there, but it is founded by a group of Mormons.
I'll be honest. So, transparency here. I really haven't watched too much content made by Angel Studios.
Yeah.
But it's such a struggle to find stuff. It's like every day I'm just like, I need to subscribe to just this app.
Yeah. I will say one cool thing that they've got going for them is that you can donate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily subscribe.
Right. You pay what you want and you get all their content, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's a donation thing. And it's like, hey, if you donate, you're paying towards other people being able to watch this content.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how The Chosen does it, because The Chosen has their own app. And so people can donate to help. It's a crowdfunding. That's what Angel Studios is it's a crowdfunding group.
So I could pay $1, but if somebody's paying $1 million, they're still profiting.
Yeah. So,
that's a bad, way large of an example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially, it runs like Kickstarter.
Yeah.
People pay into it and they put the content together with whatever money comes in for it. If they get enough money, they produce it and put it out there. If they don't get enough money, it doesn't get produced.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Isn't House of David Angel Studios?
No.
It is not. Okay.
No, there's similar creative producers that were part of the Chosen project that came over to do the House of David.
Okay, because that's where my confusion was, because House of David is on Amazon Prime, not Angel Studios app, but I thought maybe it was produced by Angel Studios.
Nope, it's a Prime original show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So,
all right, sidebar over.
There we go. All right, let's talk about some of the content that's on Angel Studios.
It sounds good to me.
What do you got?
So do you like a good chuckle, a good laugh?
Yeah.
Good. Because I'm talking about dry bar comedy, my guy. So why did that make me laugh? It sounded like a smoker's laugh. Anyways, so we know a local comedian.
Yes.
So I believe I have been to a dry bar comedy show because of her.
Mm-hmm.
It was her and a bunch of other comedians from the dry bar comedy scene, if I'm not mistaken. So I've seen dry bar comedians in person before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say that because like the dry bar is the venue, you know, kind of like the Laugh Factory and whatever Joe Rogan's thing is in Texas. Like that's the actual venue and different comedians can go there. But the dry bar comedy is just, it's
comedians performing clean comedy. It doesn't necessarily mean
alcohol. Yeah.
Right. It's not necessarily Christian-based comedy, but it's just family-oriented.
Correct.
You know, anybody can watch this, comedians.
Correct.
So I have a synopsis here for dry bar comedy, which it's essentially like a series and you watch every episode of a different comedian doing their act.
Yep.
So dry bar comedy is a stand-up comedy platform that features clean, family-friendly performances for comedians across the country. It has gained popularity for its humorous, relatable content, offering a refreshing alternative to mainstream comedy.
Yeah, there's a couple of really funny comedians that get on there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The one I saw live when I saw our mutual friend comedian perform, I could not stop laughing. It was the funniest to me.
Good.
So I like a good comedian.
It is quite funny. Yeah. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So
that's pretty neat.
There's a documentary on there. It's called The Lunatic Farmer.
The Lunatic Farmer.
It's about Joel Salatin. He's like the guy when it comes to the homesteading community. So that I thought that was pretty cool. I figured I would give that a shout out since I'm kind of in the homesteading scene.
Okay. Did they not make Homestead?
Yeah.
Angel Studios made Homestead.
I think so. Yeah. Yes, they did. I'm not I think so. They did make Homestead.
All right. They are very much it almost feels anti-government sometimes, but it's really more pro being able to take care of yourself without the intervention.
Yeah.
Without the inner involvement of the government.
Yeah. Yeah. But I figure I'd give that one a shout out. People can go and watch that one if you want some exposure to homesteading.
Mm-hmm. And if you want a movie about homesteading, go watch Homestead.
Yeah. I can't refer that because I haven't watched it yet, but maybe it's great.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
I have scores with all the shows I talk about.
Yeah.
None of them drop below a 7.5 that have scores. And I have 10 here on my list.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go on Netflix, how many of those shows, if you just go in order, have anything really above a 70?
I don't know. Just for kicks and giggles. Let's just see what happens.
Unfortunately, you can't go to Netflix and they give scores.
Oh, really?
I'm just like making an observation statement.
What happens if I go to Prime? Does Prime have scores?
I don't think. Prime does have scores.
You know what? Let's not get distracted by all this. All right.
So
let's go into our show. Let's keep going with our shows.
So real quick, speaking of, scores for dry bar comedy, the scores vary on there based on the comedian. So that doesn't really have a score.
Okay.
Because it might be good on one or versus the other because it's kind of a just hodgepodge crock pot of comedy.
Crock a pot.
So what's your next show?
I have on here. So I didn't write the titles, but this is a name that I know people know, Mike Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 different titles on the Angel Studios streaming service. So if you like Mike Rowe.
If you don't know who Mike Rowe is, he made Dirty
Jobs.
Oh my gosh. I got on a big, maybe a year ago, big Dirty Jobs kick and was watching a lot of Dirty Jobs.
Yeah. You don't need to go to college. You just need to go to a trade school and make more money than a lawyer.
I mean, that's pretty much what, not everybody has to go to college to survive. There are hardworking workers who make way more money than people who come out of college.
Well, I mean, you and I are a testament to it. We're making a living wage, and neither of us have a college degree.
Correct.
So there you go. Not that I don't know if that ousted you or not, but
now I'm going to get in big trouble now.
You're fired. You said you had a doctorate. I lied, Stephen.
It was a lie, Stephen.
Those eggs had no ego powers. I felt no nutrients.
Oh my gosh, that's coming up. That we got to watch that movie.
Yeah, Nacho Libre, you guys.
Every Cinco de Mayo.
Every Cinco de Mayo. Make sure you watch it.
And yes, guys, I know it's Mayo.
Yeah.
Don't come at me in the comments.
Don't come at me. All right, what you got?
I have. So I'm going in order of release order. So tell me if I'm stepping on toes.
No.
But I feel like this is probably currently their biggest show.
Okay.
And that is The Chosen.
The Chosen, which is an independent show that it just airs on.
Yeah, it's hosted on there. They didn't make.
Well, it's not even hosted on there anymore.
They took it off?
It's on multiple platforms.
Oh, okay. Is it still on there and it's just elsewhere, or is it completely gone?
Season 1 is on Angel Studios. I don't know if the other seasons are.
Okay.
Maybe.
And this particular show, I feel like is about to end.
They're releasing a movie, The Last Supper.
Yeah. So if you know anything about that story, we're getting kind of close to Jesus's.
Getting close to
the end of his story.
The big deal. But,
the big deal. Don't want to spoil it for you or anything if you're watching The Chosen, but something big's about to happen.
It's just something big's about to go down. Yeah. So that's pretty. But I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that The Chosen show is what has opened the door
for a lot of people,
for a lot of different good Bible shows and movies.
Yeah, like The House of David.
Yeah, like The House of David, and King of Kings is a cartoon that's about to come out. Well, there was one that was about the birth of Christ. It was like Joseph and something.
I think I had it on my list and I removed it. I believe there's a Christmas special for The Chosen.
Okay, is that what it was?
I believe so.
And so, yeah, but it's just because, dude, like a lot of the like Bible and hyper Christian content before all this more recent stuff, it was all it just wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just wasn't produced well.
And we talked about that in our movie episode of when we were talking about some biblical movies.
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah.
With Emma Watson in it. What was the other one? Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Yep.
It was all taking stories of the Bible and loosely basing it on some fantasy movie.
Yeah, like really dipping hard into something that's not accurate to the Bible. Mm-hmm. But there's been more recent shows that they're trying to lean more into the original story and try to stay true to the essence of the story. There is creative liberties in it, but it's like, hey, this stuff happens. Like it's graphic and it's hard and there's drama and intrigue and stuff, but
it did happen.
But it did happen. Yeah.
And I think that's a huge difference. Is like you're making up something.
Yeah.
And you're making it gory or violent or hard to talk about.
Yeah.
On purpose, where these are real events and we need to discuss them.
Yeah. And I will say, because I've watched a couple of seasons of Chosen, I haven't watched all of it, but what I have watched, I know what is in the Bible that they put in the show, and then what is creative liberties that they add to the show. Because there's some things that the Bible doesn't address, and so they use creative liberties to kind of make the connection, saying, well, it could have gone this way, right? But I will, like, the double side to that is that there are some people that they relay the truth of God's word solely by what they've watched.
Right.
In Chosen, and they haven't actually read it for themselves.
And that's a big point I think we should make right now, is that you can watch this. It's fine to watch these shows.
Yes.
We talked about it on our Prince of Egypt episode.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to go in and make that comparison. You need to study on it and not base your religion on a piece of media that's not the Bible.
Yeah. Your theology shouldn't be coming, your doctrine and your theology shouldn't be coming from a TV series.
Does it make it wrong that it's wrong in the show? No.
We have God's word. And that's what I'm saying is I think that The Chosen, I think that where they put stuff out that's not in the Bible, it's because the Bible doesn't address it. It's extra stuff. It's not like they've taken it and contorted it like the Noah movie, like the Exodus Gods and Kings movie. Like they've taken that story and changed it. Whereas Chosen, they just add things in that the Bible just doesn't address, you know?
Correct.
So that's my take on it. I think it's a pretty good show. I think it can be encouraging as a Christian. But yeah, definitely get your truth of who God is through his word and what he says about himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you think the most accurate biblical movie is?
I don't know. I don't know.
My guess.
Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the... No.
Whoa. Talk about basing your religion off of something.
Yeah.
Jeez. No, I think probably Passion of the Christ, if I had to guess.
Yeah. They did go to great lengths to try and stay true to what it would look like. There is some creative liberties, like Satan being a woman. And
oh, yeah. I don't think they ever necessarily specifically say that Satan is a woman in that movie, but they cast a woman to play Satan.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
A real ugly woman.
But a pretty good looking manatee.
Great callback.
Thank you.
So what do you think the average review score is for The Chosen?
It's got to be high. It's got to be like an 8 point something.
9.3.
Wow. That's really good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like that show is good and people really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, they keep up with it.
Now, is it all in English or did they do like what the Passion of Christ did or like Hebrewic?
It's in English.
Hebrewic. Hebrew.
Aramaic.
Thank you. Yes. I mixed too many things together there.
Yeah. So, it's in English.
So what's your next show?
So I think you do have it on your list, but The Sound of Freedom, the movie that came out.
I do have it on my list, but go ahead.
I have not watched it. However, I really like the story that they used. I do want to watch it. So it's just a matter of finding time. I have 3 small children, so I can't just turn the TV on and just watch something whenever. Like,
yeah,
I have to. And as a day laborer, I normally fall asleep when my boys fall asleep. So I'm not staying up and watching shows all that much. So yeah, it's finding time to actually watch it is the hard part because my wife can't be around because she does not like the human trafficking stuff that's going on. So watching a movie about it is not enjoyable.
So real quick, fair warning, and I'll read the synopsis of it. The Sound of Freedom is a powerful drama based on the true story of Tim Ballard, a former Homeland Security agent who embarks on a mission to rescue children from human trafficking. The film sheds light on the horrors of modern-day slavery.
Yeah. So that's the story, and I'm pro liberating people from slavery.
Of course.
And for some reason, when the movie came out in theaters, like Hollywood was trying to silence it.
Right.
And make it like it was you shouldn't go see this movie. And it was like, why wouldn't you want to go see a movie that shines light into
against
slavery unless you're pro-slavery? So right. Hot take right there. Sorry if that offends anybody, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. You know what? Hollywood, they're pro-slavery.
Allegedly. No, but did you hear about like when the movie was coming out, like magically a lot of times people would try to see it and the projector broke or the power's going out in this particular studio, in this particular auditorium for the movie.
Yeah.
And we were getting lots of reports of weird things trying to keep people from seeing this film.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Right.
You know, and it kind of plays into that whole idea of the demonic forces that are present in this world. Like they will operate and their goal is to remain in the shadows. They don't want what they're doing being brought into the light. And so even as much as like a movie coming out that shines light into a dark demonic reality, you know, things will happen that will be like, what the heck? What's going on here? So,
And that's a mini cryptid corner for you.
yeah, there you go. Mini cryptic corner.
The auditorium demon.
Auditorium demon. The demon in the projector.
So I'm going to talk about, are you done with yours?
Go ahead and talk. I've got one more, but go ahead and bring up one.
I was going to say, with the Sound of Freedom, what do you think the score is?
7 point something.
8.1.
8.1. Man.
That's right.
I'm going low.
So yeah. Everybody go see Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. And tell me what you think. And eventually one day I'll be able to tell you what I think.
Why don't you come over and we'll watch it.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go,
that'll
people.
solve that problem.
Jarus just officially invited me over to his house for the first time. No, just kidding.
No, for the first time, not to do any work.
Not to do any work. Anyways,
I've got
one more if you want me to, just because it's on your list if you want to talk about it.
I don't want to take it. Is it the Wingfeather?
No, you can go ahead and talk about that one.
Is that not your last one?
No.
Okay, perfect. The Wingfeather Saga.
Which I know nothing about, but I hear it's like the go-to kid show.
Yeah, so the Wingfeather Saga is a 3D animated cartoon made strictly for kids, but they made it on the scale.
So adults don't watch it.
No. But they made it apparently on the scale of like storytelling of Lord of the Rings, in the sense of like it's telling this epic tale.
Yeah.
And it's not really like 1 + 1 = 2.
Well,
Where's the map? It's nothing like that.
I'm pretty sure it's a book series.
Yeah. It's a children's epic book series telling this epic story.
Yeah.
And I think probably fairly close to in the vein of like Redwall and stuff like that. If you don't know what Redwall is, it's a story about. Go.
Of Redwall Abbey.
What?
No, Redwall it's a children's fantasy epic.
It's like mice, animals.
Yeah, and the creature and the characters are woodland creatures. So small creatures like mice and rats and moles and otters and bunnies and badgers and
Gotcha.
shrews.
It's probably to that
sparrows
vein. But no, this is probably in that vein
crows.
of storytelling of it's taking a child-friendly story, but not trying to be like Dora the Explorer either.
Yeah.
So it's a children's show that anybody can enjoy.
Yeah.
Based off the animation and how the story and the epic of it is being told, reminds me of The Dragon Prince, if you've seen that on Netflix. If you are watching that, don't anymore. But
stop what you're doing.
But what they were planning and how they were doing and showing that story on Netflix, The Dragon Prince, kind of reminds me of what they're trying to do with the Wingfeather Saga of doing this epic tale.
Okay.
But actually friendly for children.
Yeah.
Dragon Prince is, but it gets into the alphabet community and all that nonsense.
Which is crazy, but everyone knows how we feel about that. We want the light of Christ to shine in that area.
The Wingfeather Saga is an animated fantasy series based on Andrew Peterson's best-selling book series. It follows the adventures of the Igby family in the fantastical world of Airware as they battle against the evil Fangs of Dang.
Fangs of Dang?
Fangs of Dang.
Wow, what a name.
Mm-hmm. And already I feel the inspirations of Lord of the Rings because I can't say words when it's names.
There you go, guys.
What do you think the Wingfeather Saga has for a review score?
8.5.
You are very close. 8.7.
Wow. I'm getting closer.
There you go. So, yeah, it's one of those good, I feel like probably the majority of stuff on Angel Studios, probably the most children could probably watch and it'd be okay to watch. But this is strictly made for children. So if you have kids,
for the kids,
put them on that Wingfeather Saga, guys.
Yeah, because there's another big kid thing on there. I don't know if you want to go. Let's go ahead and talk about that one. Is Tuttle,
the Tuttle twins?
Tuttle twins.
Yeah, is that yours?
No, I'm saying let's go ahead and talk about it since
we
just talked about Wingfeather.
All right, here you go then. Bottom of the page.
Oh, you want me to talk?
Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
Okay, the Tuttle twins is an animated children's series teaching kids about economics, government, and individual rights. through the adventures of the Tuttle twins. The show offers educational content in a fun and engaging manner.
So where Wingfeather Saga is meant to just be telling a fantasy story, I feel like the Tuttle Twins is meant to be a little more educational.
Yeah, because once again, I think that the Tuttle Twins it's either a book or...
It is a book series.
Book series? Okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if it was a book series or if it was a comic.
Which was written by...
The Tuttle Twins.
No, just so y'all know at home, it was the book series written by Connor Boyack. So, what do you think the review score for the Tuttle Twins is?
8.3.
You're off by 2 again.
Really?
Yes.
What is it? 8.5?
8.5.
Wow. Unreal.
So, I've seen trailers for it. Even as an adult, it looks entertaining.
Yeah.
For a children's cartoon, which is, I think, kind of the necessity.
Yeah.
Especially when a lot of times shows that are being played in your household, you're going to be around to be watching it as an adult if you're replaying or playing shows for your kids. Yeah. So it needs to be entertaining even for adults.
Yeah.
Enough that they're not going to drive themselves insane hearing Dora the Explorer 37 times. That's like my go-to children's show in this example.
Dora the Explorer.
A good example of a good children's cartoon that adults also enjoy. I feel like the craze has kind of died down now, but Bluey.
Yeah. I hear about that all the time. Everyone's like, Bluey's so great. But I never jumped on the bandwagon.
Here's the thing, though. It's great because they made it with kids in mind, not trying to make money.
Yeah.
And also making it for things that adults can relate to as well while watching it.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
I got you.
I've seen a few episodes of Bluey. It actually is a well-made show.
Yeah.
But I don't really need to convince anybody. It's like one of the biggest children's cartoons ever. So
yeah, everyone knows about Bluey. That's what's crazy. Okay, what else you got?
Are we stalling because you only have one more left?
I mean, we can talk about mine.
No, I want to talk about the King of Kings.
Okay, let's talk about the King of Kings.
So
all I know about it is what little bit I've watched of the trailer. So that's all I know.
Funny enough, that's what everybody knows about it because it hasn't come out yet.
But I haven't watched the full trailer.
Oh, I see.
I should say.
So me and Ashley went and saw the new Looney Tunes movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Day the World Blew Up.
Okay.
Which, side tangent, probably one of my favorite movies of this year so far is a Looney Tunes kids cartoon.
Oh, really?
I laughed so hard the whole time. But again, a Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoon had this trailer for this movie in front of it.
Okay.
I was really happy to see that they were playing a trailer for an Angel Studios movie on a major release.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, because I think I saw it before, like starting to play, and I kind of just scrolled past it on TikTok or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what the story was actually about.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like a kid whose father is sitting him down telling him the story of Jesus Christ.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And within it, it's animated in a way that while the father's telling the story, the kid is injecting himself being there, seeing the life of Jesus.
Yeah.
So I was like, I leaned over to Ashley. I'm like, I really want to see this movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's a kid's cartoon, it's 3D animated.
I just want to go back to, for anyone listening, if you remembered what Jarus's favorite cartoon was growing up as a child, if you remember, +1 to your Jarus lore. There you go.
There you go.
If you're keeping track, you just got a +1 to Jarus lore.
Oh, I know the answer to that one.
Me too.
Yeah.
But don't say it right now.
Okay.
Because then it won't count, because everyone will just write it down then.
It's funny because I said the answer already, but moving on. King of Kings is a forthcoming biblical epic from Angel Studios. We're talking about them. Hey! Presenting the life of Jesus Christ with a fresh narrative perspective in a good way, everybody.
Yeah, in a good way.
Anytime you hear a fresh perspective on a story, it's usually like, oh no.
Yeah, but we're not like not making a different Jesus story.
It's just actually
the way it's being told, like the environment around the way it's being told is different. It's not the...
It's the way is somebody telling the story of Jesus to their child who is picturing themselves being there, watching it in person.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
Because I said VeggieTales just a second ago. There's not a single VeggieTales movie that I know of that does a show about Jesus, like any portion of Jesus's life. I think that there's a movie where they try to tell the nativity story inside the movie, but yeah, there's nothing. Because, like they do different things like Joshua and the Wall and the Grapes of Wrath and
didn't VeggieTales
David and Goliath.
Mm-hmm. Didn't VeggieTales get away from telling biblical stories and they told more like moral stories?
Yeah, they got bought out.
And
or I guess the guy who created it sold it, and
they kept that framework of the show, but got away from Bible stories.
Yeah,
they also started animating them in a weird way. They look weird now.
Yeah.
Have you seen New Barney?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Not on the podcast.
That's true. No, I haven't.
Well, wow. New Barney looks awful.
Yeah.
And he sounds like they really like whoever they chose to voice this guy.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's the thing, dude. Whenever they recreate something or try to do a continuation of something from back in the day, it either hits or it's awful.
It's never in the middle of the road.
It's never in the middle of the road. Like, when we got that final season for Samurai Jack, although I hate the ending, it's good.
Yeah.
New Barney, not good.
Some would argue old Barney's not good, but...
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess so.
So to continue off of that, the film, The King of Kings, the film aims to capture the essence of Jesus' ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection in a powerful and emotionally resonant manner.
Nice.
So I think we'll go see this film.
Yeah, and it sounds like it'll be an altogether good kids film that pushes the gospel narrative. So that'll be good.
And we need more of that.
We definitely need more of that. We need less of Cocomelon and more of King of Kings.
Less of a bald baby and more of our Lord and Savior.
Well, you know that they designed Cocomelon to be
addictive.
Yeah.
People have done research on Cocomelon and found that it implements tactics that casinos use to trigger addictive gambling traits in human beings.
Yeah. They studied kids and they would watch and see like whenever they would lose the kid's attention and they would time it, like the intervals of how long they held the kid's attention. And so whenever they would lose the kid's attention, they would do something like a flash with the screen or a big change, a sudden change, or a light mixture that like draws them back in. So it's like every 7 seconds, I think, is the timing.
It is. There is no shot in Cocomelon that holds for more than 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Your brain is constantly being blasted with a brand new boom, new thing. Yeah. And it's triggering that dopamine in children's minds that is to the equivalent of a dopamine hit when a gambler is getting that gambling hit.
Yeah. So there you go. Cocomelon promotes gambling. I don't know.
and I think within that research that you're talking about too, it doesn't allow for the brain of a child to correctly develop, and it's creating essentially zombie brain children.
Well, yeah, because the idea is it's like if you do, because, a dopamine release, it's natural. It's a part of our body, right? But when you manipulate that and make it something that's triggered constantly, and then, it wears your body down, and to the point where you're not even really getting a real dopamine hit.
Right. It's a manufactured fake dopamine hit.
It's just so worn down. You're so numb to it that your body doesn't really experience it the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how addiction is. Like, right. Like the first couple of times it's great, but when you do it so much over time, it wears you down to where you're not even really getting it anymore, but your body's conditioned yourself to say, hey, to get this, I've got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you think the average review score of King of Kings is?
It's not out yet. How do we know that?
Correct. There isn't one. Moving on.
All right. We got to talk about this one, Gabriel and the Guardians.
I knew that was your one.
Yeah.
I knew it because nothing else on here would be.
Well, and I told you before we started recording.
Yeah, true. But I don't have anything else, so we'll end on Gabriel and the Guardians.
Okay. Do you know anything about it?
Besides what I have on my piece of paper.
Okay. Go ahead and read what's on your piece of paper.
So Gabriel and the Guardians is an upcoming animated fantasy series that explores spiritual battles through the lens of angelic guardians, offering a blend of action and faith-based storytelling.
So the creators for this story, they're big anime fans.
Mm-hmm.
They love anime. They were just tired of how
Hollywood.
worldly anime is. Because, I mean, some animes can get really lewd.
Yeah.
And have some really dark stuff as well. And so they're like, let's make an anime that like holds true to the epics that we find in the Bible, but holds firm to the Christian morality side of stuff. So yeah, so that's their goal. I actually contributed to the Kickstarter for that.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I helped produce first episode.
John, podcast host, handyman, producer.
Yeah. Anyways, no, but I did watch the first episode. You can go and watch it on Angel Studios. And it's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Like it, I think that there needs to be more episodes to be able to really get a feel for the story.
Mm-hmm.
But for what they did at the opener, it's good. I like it. As far as animes go, and I'm not
so it's very much an anime, right?
It is very much an anime. There is a lot of link sounds in there. And like the fighting movements and kind of the lore that they're building up and the way that the characters are designed, like it is anime.
Mm-hmm. Just American-made anime?
Yeah, American-made anime. It did. I don't know why it stood out to me so much, but it was funny that all the different in the show from those are the sounds that Link makes from Legend of Zelda, you guys. Just so you know. Yeah. So, I told Jarus he needs to go watch it. I want to get his opinion on it.
I'm legitimately, after we stop recording, I'm going to subscribe to Angel Studios so I can start watching these things. I've always meant to.
Yeah.
And I'm using this as an excuse.
There we go.
Especially finding out that all I got to pay is 1 penny to get into it.
There you go.
It's probably like a limit, a minimal limit, though.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
For the, I will. But guys, calm down. I will pay more than 1 penny.
Well, when I got it, I think because I donated to the starter of it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is the reason that I didn't put any money down. I'll have to go back and look at it, but yeah, like I said, I think it's pretty good. I think my money was well spent. I recommend everybody going and watching it. If you like anime, go give it a watch, and then come back and let me know what you thought, because we need more people to watch it to get more episodes.
All right, everybody, you ready for this? This is the sound. Hold on. Why is it doing that?
The sound of donation.
This is the sound of me downloading the Angel Studios application.
Hey.
That is me airing out because it didn't scan my face.
Ooh. That sound is from
It's the Apple sound.
I know, but you know what it sounds a lot like?
What's that?
One of the openers or the menu sound for Pal World.
There it is. That's me getting the Angel Studios app.
Yay. You remember Pal World?
Yeah, I remember Pal World.
Remember last week when we talked about Pokemon?
Yeah. Pal World's a lot like Pokemon.
I'm surprised we didn't talk more about Pal World last week.
Honestly, going back and editing the podcast in that episode,
yeah,
I'm surprised there's a lot of things we didn't cover in that.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe we'll get episode 2 of Pokemon eventually.
Episode number 2, Pokemon. Are we still doing it? No.
I remember in the story of Noah when he sent a bird.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other shows you want to talk about for Angel Studios?
No. Just to close out on this, go Get Angel Studios like I just did.
Yeah, it's not hard. Get it, and look at their library. And once again, it's one of those things where it's all voluntary. You pay to contribute to. It's a crowd sharing group. So crowd share.
Crowd fund.
Sorry, crowd fund.
Share, fund, enjoy.
Yeah, all of that. Because there's some good stuff on there. So
for sure.
All right. Well, you ready to rock into the next thing?
I am very much ready to rock into the next thing.
Okay.
So, Tyler, this is us now rocking into the next segment.
Okay. I have a Bible verse for you. This is a game.
A game?
And it's called Which Translation? Okay.
Give us a quick theme song for Which Translation.
Which Translation?
So how do we play Which Translation?
So I'm going to read a Bible verse for you, and you're going to guess, based on the way that it's worded, what Bible translation it is. Okay? Into the English. So this is Malachi chapter 3, verse 1. Okay. See, I am going to send my messenger, and he will clear the way before me. Then the Lord you seek will suddenly come to his temple, the messenger of the covenant you delight in. See, he is coming, says the Lord of armies. All right. What translation do you think that is?
How many guesses do I get?
3.
NIV.
Nope.
ESV.
Nope.
New King James Version. Dang it. Okay.
That was the CSB.
Oh, the CSV.
Christian Standard Bible.
Oh, CSB.
CSB. Christian.
What am I thinking? Isn't there like a CSV?
There might be. I don't know.
Which one's the one that has a V at the end?
ESV. English Standard Version.
Gotcha.
That's the one that we go to on Sundays.
Yeah.
Church is like, hey, you can read from other versions, but on Sunday morning we're going to read from ESV. That's how all our pastors say.
I was so confident. I was so like, okay, here we go. I'm going to get it right. I was like, NIV. And I was just like banking on, you got it right.
Yeah. Oh, hands down, that's the NIV. This has been Which Bible Translation?
And what's that
next week for? No.
And what's the outro for that?
I don't know. We're going to have to workshop that one. We need to workshop our intros and outros.
We do have a outro for the corner.
And an intro for the corner.
We do have an intro for the corner now.
Okay.
So, Tyler, this is your transition into the corner. Step inside, if you dare. Shadows move, mysteries whisper, and the unknown awaits. Welcome to the corner.
So,
how about that new corner intro?
I love it.
I worked so hard on that.
And you know what? You did good.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you, boss.
You're going to see it in your bonus this Christmas.
Ooh.
Does your wife like ham, son?
I got you a subscription of Cheese of the Week.
Cheese of the Week. The pizza party. We're going to honor you. No, what do you know about the Nephilim?
The Nephilim. That would be the offspring of angels cast out of heaven, correct?
There is debate. So everyone in the cryptid world would say that. Yes. I think the more traditional Bible scholarly corner of people would say that they're just giants. There's no supernatural aspect to it. It's just, that's the term for giant in the Bible. So, yeah, but either side, yeah, the more cryptid side says that angels and humans had babies, and these babies were called the Nephilim.
As you do. Not the Nephilim part, have babies part.
Yes. But anyways, they were considered to be heroes and mighty men of the ancient times. And they...
So kind of like realistic superheroes almost.
Yeah, you could say that. But, the Bible's riddled with giants.
Mm-hmm.
It's throughout. I mean, I've got a couple of verses here, but there's different names. There's different terms. There's different names for these giant clans, or these clans of giants, these people groups of giants, right? So, Nephilim is one of the first ones used. Another term is Rephaim. Another term is the Emim, or...
Not a meme. Emim.
Emim. The Zuzim, the Anakim, and then there's some evidence to speculate that the Amorites were giants as well, or had giants in their people groups.
I know that one.
But there is so we keep on referring to the House of David, that people, maybe go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, but it's following the story of David, who's in the Bible.
And if you know anything about that, who does he go up against?
Funny you should ask. He goes up against a giant called Goliath.
Goliath.
Which in the Bible, it kind of makes it out like the Philistines are giants, but they're not. Goliath is a giant who lives among the Philistines. So there is speculation that Goliath, the famous giant in the Bible, actually had 4 brothers.
4 brothers?
Goliath had 4 brothers.
What are their names?
So their names are...
Carl, Steve, and Jack.
Ironically, Goliath. Now, there's
Goliath 1, Goliath 2.
Yeah. Now, in 2 Samuel 21, 15 through 22, it's talking about David's battles and David's mighty men and the different, accomplishments, I guess you could say, the different military accomplishments that they had. But there's a giant who's called Goliath of the Gittites. There's Ishbi Benoab. There's Saph. And then I don't have them written down. There were a couple other. But yeah, so the 2 Samuel is where we get the different giants from the Philistines. And they say those are the brothers of Goliath of Gath, who fought against David and lost. There was one more who they distinguished him by saying that he had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each feet, equaling 24 in total. And so because there was that one giant who had that, people have speculated that is a Nephilim trait. If somebody has 24 digits, they've got Nephilim blood in them.
So what if I have 1 extra toe?
Then I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I'm 1/4 Nephilim.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there's lore behind that, the This Present Darkness book. There's a character in that who's a bad guy, but he has 6 fingers and 6 toes.
Oh, okay.
On each foot and hand. And so they're yeah, he's working for the bad guys because he is a descendant of the Nephilim, this demonic group, right?
Right.
So yeah, but there's a mention of a giant from Egypt who comes up to fight against David and his mighty men, and they put him to sleep pretty quick.
A permanent sleep?
Yeah, a permanent sleep. Some might even say a Sheol sleep.
Oh.
And another famous giant is Og, the king of Bashan, which Joshua and the people of Israel fight against before they enter the promised land. But what a name. Og.
It's because he didn't know how to say Oscar.
Yeah.
His name's Oscar.
His name's Oscar.
Og.
Yeah. Okay, but this is what's funny.
Very good, Oscar.
Is people, in the Bible, they use references to try and let people know, this is how big this guy was, right? But for Og, they use his bed. They're this guy was so big that his bed was 12 feet long or something like that. It's just so what if he just liked room to roll around?
Right.
But
I could use a 12-foot bed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the size of most of our rooms. You know,
Yeah, just a nice, comfy thing to just
a mat.
just spread out on.
It's the whole room.
Now, I want like a nice mattress that's 12 feet long, 12 feet wide.
12 by 12?
By 12.
Nice.
I just want a huge mattress cube.
Just a huge mattress cube. You can actually, there's a door and you can open it up and go into it.
Yeah, I want a mattress room.
A mattress room. Nice.
If you want a mattress room, guys, just do something crazy. They'll put you in a insane asylum. Then you'll have mattresses all over the walls.
Yeah. Do they still do that?
Good question. Maybe.
When the last time you were there, were they doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was last week.
So they probably haven't.
The joke, guys, is that I'm crazy. Good one, John.
For those who weren't following, John just called me nuts. No, so that was, I mean, I didn't go super deep into it. I kind of wanted to talk about it because we've been talking about the House of David so much recently. I wanted to get into Nephilim. It is, like all cryptids that we talk about, it is a very deep rabbit hole that you can dive into, and it can get really crazy. But there is stories of giants to this day that, and not like what we have where it's like a person that's almost 8 foot tall, but they're really disproportionate. You know, it's not giantism. It's like a perfectly proportioned
large human.
Yeah. So,
or some would say Nephilim.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's stories of in the Middle East of different giant interactions. We see all the stories of colonials coming over and getting documentation from the native tribes in the Americas of these. We've talked about the different giant tribes of America. And even as much as like, dude, there's been some videos that have come out on TikTok of people catching a human silhouette on a mountaintop and like just basing it on the geographical terrain. Like that is a massive person.
Where did this happen at?
I want to say it was out in Utah.
It was me. I went to vacation in Utah.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah, I'm tall, everybody. I don't know if anybody knows I'm a tall human being. That's not a joke. I'm tall.
Yeah, but not that tall. You're not the size of a cypress tree.
Well, I was standing on a stool.
Oh, is that what it was? You were walking on a stool?
Yeah, walking with 2 stools, one on each foot.
Yeah, yeah.
It made me as tall as a tree.
Wow. Some stools. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think that giants just disappeared, but we do have to recollect, like, where are they? Because they're not in everyday life. But it seems like in the Bible they were. It seems like in the Bible they would come into these different groups of people and dwell among humanity. So why isn't that happening anymore? You know? Interesting to think about.
It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder. So yeah, that's all I've got.
Awesome. Thank you so much for always preparing a corner with awesome content.
Thank you for making a beautiful intro to the corner.
We work together as a team. Good job.
As one.
Podcast.
Podcast one. Until a third person is regularly helping out. Then
right. And then we're a team.
Then we're a team.
A larger people teams.
A production team.
A production team.
Dude,
you heard it here first, folks. We are a production team.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, we've got a sketch idea that we want to put out there. And I'm going to keep on.
I don't know why you're being vague about it. I think you talked about it in last week's episode.
Yeah. The Pokemon Go exorcism.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited about that as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to make it happen.
We just need a cast of people willing to play the role of Pokemon to be caught with nets and rocks.
Okay. We'll workshop it. Because that's what the funny part of it is that like the Pokemon aren't there, right?
Right.
But it's people that are, yeah.
We just need a team of 5 passionate film-making people.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right, well, that's all I've got.
And that's what I have.
As well?
As well. Even though I did that once already in an outro.
Oh.
I said it exactly like that. That's all I had as well.
All right, well, guys, thank you for listening to episode 29
This was episode 29. Next week is episode 30.
The big 3-0.
Yeah, I can't believe that we have done this for 30 episodes.
Yeah, 30.
Well, not yet, but we'll be there.
Soon you guys will have been listening to us for 30 weeks. Soon.
With bonus content sprinkled in.
That's right. So make sure that if you are on social media to go give us a like and a follow.
Just like Pokemon Horizons girl did.
Yeah. She commented. And guys, we would like it if you comment too.
Please.
Please.
We're begging you. No.
No, we're not begging, but we're asking politely.
That's right.
Because our mamas raised us right.
To say yes and no, please.
We sprinkle the please in there somewhere.
Manners.
Manners. Mayonnaise manners.
Christ is Lord.
And the kingdom is now.
We are
The saints that serve. That sucks that we ended on mayonnaise manner.
That's awful.
That's the worst.
Mayonnaise is the worst.
Mayonnaise stinks.
That's the second time in this episode we referenced mayo.
What's going on? Why is there so much mayonnaise?
These boys really like mayonnaise.